Let's get it. Let's talk about extortion. How Nigeria got me. Okay, stay tuned. Hi y'all, it's your girl HHG. Welcome to the ChibuchiHHG channel. I'm Honda Harley Girl. You can say HHG for short. We just recently shared a video about how we met up in Nigeria for the second time, our second meetup. First time we met in Cyprus. That was in August 2023. December 2023, we met up in Nigeria. Chibuchi and I, we've been going strong. We've been going strong, child. Woo, we've been going real strong. And in Nigeria, we were definitely tested a lot. So in that video, I talked about extortion and how I was extorted for my visa. And I'm gonna tell y'all about that because a couple people in the comment section said they wanted to know. So I'm gonna tell y'all, this is the video right here about how I got extorted in Nigeria, fresh off the plane. I'm in debt, I'm extorted, I'm blackmailed. So I'm gonna tell y'all about that. But first things first, welcome to the channel, especially if you are a returning subscriber. We love y'all. We like to call y'all our family. And an extra special welcome to our new subscribers. Thank y'all for tuning in. We are Chibuchi. He's in Nigeria. I'm HHG, and I am in Miami, Florida. So yeah, we legit. We met on the Kendra G show. Check out our content. We share it all. We really do. So yeah, let's talk about what happened and how I got extorted in Nigeria. So before we even get into it, I do want to say I have no hate, no dislike of Nigeria. I appreciate what that place taught me, what I saw, what I learned. It didn't scare me off, though it was scary in the moment. It hit me where it hurt at the wrong time. So this story is not to scare anyone for going to Africa or going to Nigeria. This is just one country in Africa, and that's how they roll, you know. You gotta stand on business when you in somebody else's territory. But anyways, let's get into it. I took my flight from Miami, Florida to Istanbul, Turkey. Had a long layover, and after the layover, it was a flight from Istanbul to Abuja, Nigeria. Now, before we get there, before I even take this trip, I talked to Chibuchi about the visa. I'm like, hey, do I need a visa? Do I need to apply for paperwork? Because I remember sending him a link. I was like, you know, read this. According to this government site, Nigeria is going to treat United citizens how United citizens treat Nigerian citizens. So if a Nigerian want to come here, they have to apply for a visa. They have to have all this paperwork, all this proof, all this income. They have to do an interview. And to do a tourist visa as a Nigerian citizen to the US, right now the wait is over 400 days. So really, Nigerians can't come to America easily. It's like a long waiting process. It's a process. And you gotta prove that you got money and you're not coming to the States and trying to stay. So that's why Chibuchi hasn't come here yet, y'all. So family, friends, everybody be asking, he gonna come here? Yes, he gonna come here, but it's a process. Y'all know how the government work? Ain't nothing that easy. So anyways, I sent that to Chibuchi. I was like, look at this. They're saying that they're gonna require US citizens all this documentation, all this proof, just how US require Nigerians. He was like, no, they got visa on arrival. It's just how the visa on arrival in Cyprus, northern Cyprus, that's owned by Turkey. I can't even say the official name, but Cyprus is a little island and it's owned half by Turkey. The northern part is owned by Turkey. The southern part is owned by Greece. Look it up, Google it. So when I went to Cyprus in August 2023, they had visa on arrival. And that meant as a US citizen, I can just show up to Cyprus and they're gonna stamp my passport and they're gonna let me know how long I can stay in their country. And that's exactly how it went. Cyprus gave me, I think, 30 days. It was 30 or 60 days. Matter of fact, let me show you. Here's the visa on arrival for Cyprus. Here it goes right here. So Cyprus gave me 30 days. I gotta be out within 30 days. I came on August 13, 2023. 30 days later, I need to be out. Here's my exit stamp. I was out by the 21st. I stayed 1 week in Cyprus. So this was visa on arrival. So even before I went to Cyprus, I was asking Chibuchi, like, you sure about this visa on arrival stuff? Because it's saying I can get it before I get to Cyprus. He was like, no, trust me, it's visa on arrival. You're American. You got it good. You got the blue passport, so you got it made. Okay. So I trusted him with the visa on arrival for Cyprus. And I trusted him for visa on arrival for Nigeria. It's time to take the flight from Istanbul airport to Abuja, Nigeria. And we're going in, we're scanning our tickets. And the guy said, visa? I said, visa on arrival. And he was a little hesitant, but he let me go. But before it was my turn, I noticed a couple people, when he was asking them for visa, they had papers in their hand. And it was a little white lady in front of me. I saw her U.S. passport, and she said visa on arrival too. So she didn't have no paperwork. I didn't have any paperwork, but I saw other non-Nigerians have paperwork in their hand. Anyways, I tell him visa on arrival. He hesitates, made me a little bit weary. It did make me weary, and he let me keep on walking onto the plane. So I took my plane. I saw this white man sitting in front of me, and I wanted to ask him so bad. I wanted to ask him, about his visa. But instead, before the flight took off, I texted Chibuchi, and I was like, hey, you sure about this visa on arrival stuff? He was like, yeah, Sonny, don't worry. It's visa on arrival. It's just like Cyprus. I'm going to show y'all the text message, because I couldn't get my mind off of it. I'm sitting on the flight about to take off. I still got a little bit of service. I said, let me text Chibuchi and make sure he know what he's talking about. The flight from Istanbul to Abuja, Nigeria was about 6 hours. I get there at night, like 8 p.m. I go to the restroom, freshen up. I'm thinking I'm about to show my U.S. passport, get my stamp, and get my luggage and go be with my man. I get there, I get out the bathroom, I go get in line. And I get in one of the lines that said other passports. So I'm like, I'm not a Nigerian citizen, I'm not a diplomat, I'm in the other section. And I'm standing, I'm looking, I'm just checking out the scenery. I see how some of the officials, they're escorting white folks to the top of the line. They do cater to them. That's true. Like, I'm just sharing my experiences. They was escorting them to the top of the line. For whatever reasons, I'm just thinking, I'm like, dang, I hope this is visa on arrival like how it is in Cyprus. Then I start asking questions. It was like this little short brown man. I don't know where these folks from, y'all. It's so many people in the world. Shout out to everybody in the world. He looked like he could possibly be like Indian or something. Who knows? He was a brown skinned man, but I know he wasn't black. And I was like, you got your visa? He flexed on me so hard, y'all. You know what he did? He didn't even say nothing. He did like this. But it was a Nigerian passport. This Indian looking man had his Nigerian passport. He flexed on me so hard. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I said, you think I should go over there to the visa office? Because they had a visa on arrival sign, and it had their own little section over there in the corner. He was like, yeah, you probably should go over there. I get over there. It's kind of chaotic. You got people sitting in rows of chairs, this little makeshift office where the guys are processing the visa paperwork that the people had that I didn't have. It was some couches, it was some people standing over there. Of course, I go to the people that look like me. It was a couple black women. I start asking them questions. Then I asked this African brother that was standing there. I was like, I need to get my visa on arrival. He was like, where your papers at? Where your papers? He was asking me for all these papers. I was like, I ain't got no papers. I'm starting to get nervous now. I'm starting to sweat. He actually told me, he was like, how are you able to catch the flight? How did you get here if you don't have papers? He said they shouldn't have let you on the flight. I just became stuck. People around me that was kind of hearing what was going on. I'm sitting there, me and Chibuchi texting back and forth. I'm like, see, I told you we were supposed to have some type of paperwork, some type of proof. Child, I talked to the black woman that was in there. She gave me some info. She gave me her contact info. She was like, yeah, you ain't know. You supposed to come with pre-approved paperwork. You supposed to do some work before you got here. You supposed to pay for your visa and bring all this proof. And then she gave me the real down low. She was like, they're not even accepting tourist visas right now. She was like, you got to get a business visa because Nigeria is not accepting tourist visas, only business visas. And ironically, technically, US is not accepting tourist visas for Nigerians. Nigeria is matching what the US is doing to their citizens. They're matching. That's what was really going on. I'm just frustrated. Like, I'm thinking, Lord, I done came 28 hours across the world just to be told I can't get in this country. I'm talking to her. She tired because she's been there waiting for her stuff to get processed correctly. It was just a waiting process. It made you very anxious. You didn't really know what was going on. It was my first time in Nigeria. I didn't know what to do. The Wi-Fi wasn't working. I had to go ask for the Wi-Fi. It was like, oh, it's the free Wi-Fi, da, da, da. It wasn't working correctly, but I knew what would work. I became emotional and I started to cry a little bit because I was just really frustrated. I'm like, nobody was truly helping me. The lady that gave me the info, she gave it to me, but then she left, which I understood. I know anybody about to sit around and babysit my improper ass. So she left. She was like, I'm gonna tell my connect to hit you up. He got my visa right. Another black lady told me, you better go get your bags. You in Nigeria. So Lord, the security took me to get my bag. I brung it back. What do I call immigration officers? I want to say that. The thing about Nigerian staff, everybody look like regular people. It's like no true uniform. Like the workers is working in like a t-shirt like me, and so it's kind of hard to identify who's who. But these immigration officers, they did have on like at least some reflective vest or something. They had on a little something. So they take me to go get my luggage. I bring it back, but before I bring it back, we're like having conversation. He was like, you want me to help you? And he was whispering. So you know when people are whispering, they full of shit. So he whispering to me like, I want to help you. He trying to sell it to me like he want to help me. I want to help you, and I needed help. I'm like, okay, whatever it is, I'm desperate at this point. Whatever I need to pay, I'll pay. You know, he's trying to tell me keep it on the low. You know, keep your voice down. I help you. He's like, walk with me, walk with me. So we walking and talking. He got a low tone. He's trying to coach me a story. He's trying to ask me, trying to tell me to act like I'm African. Luckily, I know about Chibuchi, where he from, Imo State. He's Igbo. He's from Port Harcourt. You know, I knew a little something to make it sound like I was something. But come on, Africans ain't dumb. They can look at me, they can hear me. No, I ain't from Africa. So he's trying to coach me a story. It was just so much confusion. I can't even truly explain it well because it was so much back and forth. I'm like, do he want me to fake the story? Do he want me to pay him on the low? But really, he wasn't even the real person that can get stuff done. He was the middleman. He was like, you gotta wait till everybody in the office clear out. And you know, I was talking to my boss man, we could see what we can do. So I get there, got my luggage. That immigration officer, he walks away. He was like, stay right here. Then the other one walks up, and I saw them working together, so I felt like it was okay to talk to him a little bit. So he was like, you know, what's up, blah, blah, blah. I tell him what was going on. He was like, we sat down, we talked. It was a lot of talking for no reason. All I wanted to do was pay and go. But I didn't expect that I was going to be paying what I paid. I thought I could just apply for the visa and be on my merry way. But it was really a process. So the second immigration officer, he sits me down and he's telling me, you know, if we come to your country and we don't have our paperwork, our visa, they're going to hold us in a room, make us stay overnight, question us to death, and they're going to send us back on a plane. I was like, yeah, you're right, you're right. He was like, but here, we try to work with you. You know, we want you here. And he was like, you know, they can work something out. Just keep working with him. You know, you'll get through. So he kind of gave me some motivation. I was like, okay, cool. I get back with the original immigration officer, and he was like, you can't be talking to everybody, da, 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 da. What he really meant is, you are my lick. You know, I need all the profit for me. So we walk back over there to the visa on arrival office, and it's pretty much cleared out. I connect this immigration officer to Chibuchi, you know, put them in contact. He's talking to Chibuchi. He actually leaves me in the office and go get Chibuchi and bring him into the visa on arrival. I had already told Chibuchi we gotta act like we own business because the lady already told me that they're not doing tourist visas. It's only a business visa that they're gonna give out. So Chibuchi is chopping up with them. They speaking their language, da 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 da. Chibuchi know how to get around. He know how to act too. So it comes down to what's really good. They know I ain't got no visa. They know I'm not trying to turn back around and go back to America. They tell Chibuchi they want $400. I'm like, ugh. Ironically, that's exactly how much cash I brought with me. Now, before we get into the extortion, because here it goes, I want to read y'all what extortion means. According to Google, the practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats. He used bribery and extortion to build himself a huge art stuffed mansion. Some synonyms for extortion: extraction, blackmail, shakedown. I think the best word for me would be blackmail, because the main immigration officer I was working with, he was like, you want to go back home or you want to be here? He gave me that ultimatum, like, act right. He told me stop being emotional. I wasn't like boohoo crying, but I did, had a little tear dropping. I did get a little blackmail. I got like, you want to be here, you want to be taking a flight back home. It was just so weird. I was not expecting this at all. I brought exactly $400 with me. They wanted $400 for my visa. The cost of a visa is like $160 or $170. So where's the extra money going to? Of course it's going to the workers. And I understood that. I really did. But I wasn't expecting $400. That took all my money out. They were like peeking everything about me. They saw the US dollars in my wallet. So they already think you're American, you got money. But I really only came with $400 because that following 2 days, that Wednesday, I was gonna be getting paid. So I was like, oh, I'm good. I can go with $400. I really wanted to come with $1,000, but the budget wasn't budgeting. So I came with $400, and I messed up because I came with a bunch of ones. So a little FYI, the US dollar has no value in Nigeria. They don't accept US dollar. It's all about the Naira. So you gotta exchange your money into Naira. But you're gonna wanna exchange big bills. So when you come to Nigeria, have big bills, have the blue faces, the 100s, because the dollar doesn't really exchange for much. They asked for $400, and I ain't about to give up all my money in my wallet. I can, I can haggle too. So I told Chibuchi, look, they can have this $360 right here. It was either $360, I think I gave them $350. Chibuchi takes the US dollars and take it to them, and they accept. But they need to exchange the money into Naira. So they go to the worst place to exchange money is at the exchange center in an airport. Never exchange your money in the airport because the rate is poor. So they go exchange the money, and they take like an extra $30 out. Like the exchange rate, so $350 now turned into $320. The current exchange rate for Naira, so USD to Naira, the current exchange rate, if you want express, it's $8.99. Economy, like you gotta wait a little bit, is $9.04. To keep it simple, for every $1, you get 1 Naira. A little less though. They accept my offer of the $350. They do my paperwork for my visa. I get my visa, they take my fingerprint, they take my picture, they put my Nigerian visa in my passport, and me and Chibuchi are out the door. But this original immigration officer walks us all the way out the airport. But before we get to the door, he takes us to this dark, secluded area of the airport and asks for his payment. I don't know, but apparently, whatever the cost is for the visa, subtract that. So $350, y'all help me do some math, right? $350. I get him $350 US. The visa is only like $160. So the other change, how much is that, y'all? I ain't good with math right now. That's sad. The phone got me spoiled. I run to the calculator quick. 350 minus 160. You can do it, Kara. So 350. You take away 100. That's already 250. Take away 60. That's 200. That's 190. So the 190, I guess the two other guys that really did the visa paperwork, they split that. So this immigration officer, I guess he wasn't getting nothing out of that. So he took it upon himself to escort us out the airport, and we didn't need no help. He walking with us. This is the man right here. You see, he's walking with us. Another thing he did before we got to the dark, secluded spot is that he takes my passport. He takes a picture of my passport, this page, and then he takes a picture of the Nigerian visa. He takes it all in front of me. One of the workers that prepared the visa, He's walking out. I guess he's done with his shift, and he comes and whispers to him. And I couldn't hear the conversation, but I could tell what it was about. He was like, bro, what you up to? He know he was up to no good, really. Like, it's all about the feeling. Like, you had to be there. So he continues to walk us out. And then another thing about him taking those pictures, he did it when Chibuchi wasn't with me. Like, he thought that would scare me, but I'm like, you can't do nothing with this. I got my visa now. I'm legal. So he takes the pictures of my passport. He escorts us out the airport. But first we stop to the dark space. And in the dark space, that's where he demands his money, his pay. So luckily I did keep some cash stashed. I had $400. I gave them $350, so I had like $50. I gave him all the $50, which is going to be less than 50 naira, or 50,000 naira. And I lied to him. I told him, you know what, I'll give you some more money on Wednesday. I get paid, we'll see you some more money. Child, we ain't send him no money. So he took the 50 cash. He took the promise that we'll send him more money. So he walks us all the way out. He takes these lovely pictures for us. Here they are. He did take these pictures, and that's all she wrote. But it was so stressful. It was so, I don't know, it was like a movie. I didn't expect it. I was a little pissed off at Chibuchi, because I'm like, I told you. You know your country corrupt. You're the one that always tells me this is Nigeria, this is what they do. The government is corrupt. The government is all about money. And that is true, because guess what? We were extorted again. It happened again. Y'all gotta wait and stay tuned for that video. But yeah, we were extorted again in Nigeria. This time the target was Chibuchi, and it was total bullshit. Chibuchi definitely got me through it. He know his people. He knew how to communicate with them. He know how to bargain. I got through. I got the visa. Another thing is, another black lady that was in the office, she told me how somebody hooked her visa up, but it cost her $400. So if you want your visa hooked up and without all the required documents, I guess you gotta pay $400. And one thing I learned while in Nigeria is that if you got money, you can do anything. If you got moolah, you can do anything. Like, I brought a bunch of single dollar bills because for one, I thought I could send my US dollar there, but also for the beggars, because when I was in Cyprus, it was people that was begging. Like the hospitality, they wanted tips. So I came prepared this time. So I'm gonna bring up more ones this time so I can give out. You gotta exchange that money. They don't accept US dollars. And Nigeria has a lot of beggars, which is fine. It's the local people. I understand. I can look out if I can look out. That's why I brought that extra. They done extorted all my money. I ain't even had no coins for the local people. But I got right for sure. But if you're gonna go to Nigeria, you better bring a lot of money, because you may be extorted out of your control. You gotta hear the second extortion story. Tell y'all about that later. So stay tuned. Subscribe to our channel. Nigeria is a special place. That's all I can say. I will go back. That didn't scare me off for Nigeria, but it made me more aware, it made me more prepared. Cash is king. Money is power over there, for sure. But yeah, that's what they do over there. They do a story. This is not the first story. I've seen other YouTube stories where police officers are asking for money. Matter of fact, they asked us for money a lot of times. You got anything for me? You better go with your whole life savings if you're going to Nigeria. Yeah, but that's the story right there. I think that is extortion. I was blackmailed. I was like threatened, like, you gotta go back home, or you go do what you gotta do to get through. And of course I'm gonna do what I gotta do, because I done traveled all across the world to come here. That's what happened. I got the visa. They only gave me 30 days, and it is a business visa. So there's no tourist visa right now. They're not giving those out. If you wanna come do business, I got in, I got out safely. So next time I go, I gotta be prepared when I go to Nigeria. Got to. Thank y'all for listening. That is the story of how I got extorted in Nigeria. Fresh off the plane. Chibuchi HHG. See y'all later.